So actress Rachel Ziegler, or is it Zegler? Ziegler. Uh, Best known American actress, singer. She's, I think, in the new Snow White movie that came out or is coming out. So she made some statements on her social media accounts, primarily on Instagram, about the election. And we know that certain celebrities have made a lot of different reactions when it came to the election. But this one, I feel, takes the cake. So she states, I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leaning us towards a world I don't want to live in, leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Now, what's funny about that is she is 23 years old, and Rachel Ziegler doesn't have kids of her own. So she's already making hypotheticals to exaggerate her pain and suffering of a Trump presidency, leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she does not want, leading us towards a world that is fearful. So not only is she imagining a world where she's already had a daughter, but a daughter that's old enough that apparently is deciding to abort that baby. Like, it's amazing to watch people elevate their trauma, their self-inflicted trauma, to a level of just this imaginative theater. Well, imagine a world that I had a daughter, and that daughter was old enough to have her own kids and have a baby that she didn't want. By that time, Trump wouldn't be even in office. By that time, who knows what happens the next 10 years? Who knows what's going to happen in the next month? Honestly, with the way things are going. Who's going to know? Who's going to know? I shouldn't be shocked by this, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss shouldn't not have happened, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. So, those are some interesting words that she proclaims here. But that it doesn't stop her. That's not all of this. She also stated in another post, and I do apologize, it's a little blurry. I tried to make it bigger and larger for people to see. There's also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. Again, do you understand the world that you're living in right now? Do you understand the world that you're living in right now? Do you understand that Kamala Harris did not have a primary? Do you understand how exactly we got stuck with Trump? Do you understand that democracy is pretty much a poor person's game to the aristocrats that already hand-selected your leaders and the people that are going to rule you? I mean, she is an actress, so it is terrifying the number of people who stand behind this man and what this man preaches. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, of humanity. There is no help, no counsel in any of them. I could go on. I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. F this. So, she's trying to make her statement clear that, oh my God, how awful this is. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm done with all of this. And I would have a bit of, respect. I don't agree with the words and sentiment that she's saying here, because this is just, again, personal infliction trauma post-election. This is a higher-up actress who, nothing's going to come out of this, whether Trump's president or Kamala's president. She already lives in probably in California, where abortion's not going to be, criminalized in a state like that. But she goes on these statements, she goes on these rhetorics. You'd think this would be the ending point. And I would think this would be the ending point. But no, there's more. she goes on now to Elon. Because it's not just Trump, it's the entire scope of Trump. It's Trump and the supporters and Elon and RFK and everybody. Everybody. Everybody is a sick bastard except for me. The mentality of that. She goes to say, get off Elon's app, by the way. The F are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find someone real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around. I should also note that I think this is the actress, since I mentioned Snow White. I think this is the one that tried to pick a fight with people saying that there needs to be a diverse Snow White. I think she's one of those people. I think that she went on this, really woke tangent about a fairy tale character. And, I couldn't care less really about it because the whole woke thing is just garbage. The whole woke thing is just nonsense distraction. But it just amazes me that she'll go on this tangent fight over a fictional character from a storybook, from a fable that was created years ago. It's amazing. You're angry at the concept. You're angry at the appearance and the limit of a fictional character. So there's even more to this. So underneath that it says, okay, that's all. Going on stage now for Act 2. So you think this would be done? Okay, that's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now and need to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. I think that's already too late, but anyway. Sending love to everyone who needs it today. May we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your den govs, I'm assuming government, just got very important. They already were, but hey, follow your governors. Hold them accountable. Local government is where we really make the change. This is not the end, ever. I will love you through these 4 years as best as I can. F Donald Trump. So really what I can make of this is that this is just theatrics. This is just traumatic theatrics of a post-election cycle. This is just another symptom of celebrity, the simplicity of these famous people that just care about their own business. They're just living in their own bubble. They may periodically go on MSNBC or they pull up their phone and they just read simple headlines and just think, oh, okay, this is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. I'm being told that this is correct and this is wrong. Just like we saw with Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, with Taylor Swift, I'm not, again, same with Rachel Ziegler. I'm not, cramping down on whether she's a good enough actress or whether a good enough musician or attacking her on that front. I'm just saying that you are in a position where you're trying to make this, grand gesture where you're just aggravating onto people how angered and frustrated and deranged you are that this man got elected and going on this tyrant rage when, in fact, one, it has nothing really to do with you because you're a celebrity. You already live in California. None of the things that you're embellishing are going to happen in a state like California. And the other part, too, to this is that you're chastising on an entire population that voted for Donald Trump without even getting to know why they voted for Donald Trump. So you're embellishing this anger to every one of your potential viewers. And you wonder why people are escaping Disney. You wonder why people aren't watching a lot of Hollywood anymore. You wonder why Hollywood is fading away from the main public because of stuff like this. Because you see so many celebrities that people used to adore. I used to adore them. I used to watch the, award shows growing up, and I haven't done it in probably almost 10 years now because it's just become chaotic at this point with stuff like this. You are now just deminimizing, just absolutely embarrassing yourself by making this soapbox statement, or you consider it a soapbox statement, when it's really just embellishing your personal frustrations and then demoralizing everybody for not going along with you. It's just absolutely crazy. So that may be why the Oscars, which is, very important in Hollywood, very important with the who they decide for host, is going to Conan O'Brien. Oh. The hell just happened? Okay, stand by, people. Stand by. Shit. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I think I hit the wrong button. Stand by, people. Stand by. Okay, so there we go. So that may be why Conan O'Brien will host Hollywood's biggest night, the Oscars. The beloved comedian will MC the 97th Annual Academy Awards on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences and its broadcasting partner ABC announced Friday. The good-hearted Conan O'Brien, who's not going to rock the boat. Because now I think Hollywood is realizing that the political controversy, the outcry from certain establishment elites and certain establishment celebrities is not working well for their image. It's not connecting to a broader audience. It's not connecting to a populace that used to once adore them. So having someone like Conan O'Brien, who's very kind of milquetoast on politics and situation, although he has good comedic timing when it comes to playing video games. I don't know if you ever saw his gamer reviews when he did the TBS show. Those are the most hilarious things I've ever seen of Conan O'Brien. I don't, particularly admire him as a comic, but I think those were the best moments he's ever done. I think he should do more of those. Just, being the age that he was, trying to master the craft of playing GTA 5 or something was the most hilarious thing imaginable. I love those moments. I fell off my chair just in laughter by stuff like that. So it goes on to say the beloved comedian Conan O'Brien has accepted an invitation to host the 97th Oscars telecast. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences announced Friday morning. It's weird they still call this science. O'Brien, 61 years of age, will MC Hollywood's biggest night for the first time when the industry convenes at the Dolby Theater at 4 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, for a ceremony that will be televised live on ABC and in more than 200 territories across the world. O'Brien has worked in television for decades. In recent years, he transitioned from anchoring a late-night talk show to hosting a hit podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I think they're being generous with the word hit. I mean, compared to Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn, that's nothing. Presiding over a podcasting empire under the banner of Team Coco. A former writer on Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons, he has garnered 31 Emmy nominations, 5 of which resulted in wins. So, I feel like this is definitely a response to seeing the upcry, the phony crocodile tears, a Hollywood that's in scrambles to try to reform, to reconnect with its audience that they keep losing when they go through either the woke agenda or this political mayhem that we're seeing. And having someone like Conan O'Brien, who is kind of just milquetoast, not really politically influenced, is going to be their best option to host an Oscars event like this, as opposed to their former host they once had, which was Jimmy Kimmel. And Jimmy Kimmel went on to this tyrant on his late night talk show after Trump's win, after the election, and just spewed out this phony, dramatic theatric to his audience about how horrible it is for America that you elected Donald Trump. Listen to this.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
That right there, the kind of ignorance of Jimmy Kimmel making a speech like that. Yeah, it's a horrible night for journalism and healthcare and immigration. Horrible night for Ukraine and our allies. It's amazing that he, pledged so many tears for that. Our friendly allies of neo-Nazis. Oh my God. It's such a horrible night for everybody. And it's going to be a horrible night for you. You just don't know it yet. Like the tone, the arrogance of someone like Jimmy Kimmel. Because if he's sincere on all these measures, where was his cry? Where was his horrific dramatics when it came to Julian Assange? If you're talking about journalism, what about Julian Assange? How about the fact that you're crying about it's a bad night for healthcare when you deliberately told people during COVID that if you're not vaccinated, you don't deserve healthcare? Hey, we're going to kick you out of the hospital chair. We're going to kick you out of the beds because you didn't get an experimental drug propagated by big pharmaceuticals that are paying me to say this. So they went from a person like Jimmy Kimmel, and probably the Academy of Motion Arts and Sciences looked at that and go, yeah, we're not going to do that again. We're not going to have a person whose reputation couldn't sink any lower, like Jimmy Kimmel, who's using his late night talk show, his downgrading embarrassment of comedy late night talk show, to then morally scold people on how they voted. So no wonder why Conan O'Brien was their top pick. I mean, they're not going to pick like a Ricky Gervais or a Dave Chappelle or something. That would be amazing. That would encourage me to rewatch the Oscars. Like I said, I haven't done any of that in like over 10 years now. Because I just got sick of it. I got sick and tired of it. I got sick and tired of, just the overlapping of giving fictitious awards to movies that just seem propagated by the status quo and not giving, salute or any mention to real motion pictures and real stories and real cultivation of art. Like, it's just all hypocrisy. It's just all hypocrisy and a joke. That's why I just stopped watching it. I did watch it, though, back in the day, thinking that it was great. And that's maybe one of the reasons what got me into, loving the idea of filmmaking and broadcasting. But ever since that, it's just been atrocious. Or how about Bobby De Niro? How about Bobby De Niro when he said this about Trump possibly winning the election? This was before the election, when he went into a meltdown mode with Bill Maher, claiming that oh my God, if Trump wins, if you guys vote him in, I don't have a career anymore. It's me. I'm the one that gets afflicted. You notice how these celebrities, it's me. It's my problems. It's my issues. Don't you care about me? Here's what Bob De Niro said.
Redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and there look like intelligent people around there, somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him. Take him at his word.
That's what's going to happen in a dictatorship of Trump. That someone is going to culp up this overaging actor, this typecast actor. The mafia days are over. And Bill Maher might not have a job. I mean, he still has a job now, surprisingly. But he's not going to have a job anymore. Just like the first Trump administration apparently wasn't going to have a job. Well, he still does now. Bob De Niro's still working. He's still Hollywood loved. But maybe he's saying that someone's going to round him up because of all the stuff that behind the scenes he's known of doing. How there's a bit of human trafficking, child sex trafficking, certain rings that he got himself involved in. So there may be a bit of truth to that statement that if Trump gets elected, maybe somewhere down the line, there might be a possibility that someone's going to look into that. Someone's going to look into Bob De Niro. But overall, it's just utter stupidity. Overall, it's just him, again, embellishing on stuff. It's me. It's my problem. You guys are voting against me. Because I won't have a job anymore. Bill Maher won't have a job anymore. Jimmy Kimmel's going to have to do a fake ugly cry. He's going to have to now call Ben Stein to find his balls. Do you not know how personal this is? You're attacking me with personal daggers. And this is where celebrities have dropped in popularity among people. Because they have just become, ever since Trump got elected, ever since the Trump derangement virus took over them, it has just absolutely destroyed any reputation of their mind, their stability, and turned them into these just woke, these insufferable, narcissistic, like, just zombies at this point. Well, we can't. It's Trump this, Trump that. Trump's going to cancel my show. Trump's going to do this. Trump's going to do that. You realize he was president 2016 to 2021. You realize that. And did you lose your job then? Did something happen then? No. But they're going to make these theatrics convincing you to believe how dangerous and awful this next coming Trump presidency is, which is why a majority of the public came out to vote for him. A lot of people came to vote out for him. Not because they're angry at Robert De Niro or want to take revenge on him, although maybe some people would. But people voted for him because, hey, here's a bit of an outsider. I know that the first presidency wasn't as promising, and maybe the second presidency isn't as promising. But when push comes to shove, when you get a shit sandwich and a shit sandwich, you know, Trump may be a better option because at least he's going to downgrade the war in Ukraine. He's going to downgrade that. He's going to combat the corruption. He has people like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. In positions of power that are going to regulate, that are going to change up the system so we can have healthier foods for children, so we can take down a bit of this deep state cultivation that has obviously just destroyed communities, destroyed people in the most outrageous ways. And Bob De Niro just had no idea about that. Bob De Niro has no idea. Bill Maher has no idea. Jimmy Kimmel has no idea. Because they don't talk to people on the streets. They don't actually talk and interact with people on the streets. They have their own penthouses.